It's the National Football League on EA Sports, where representatives from the AFC and NFC will square off. It's the Philadelphia Eagles and the Miami Dolphins on Monday Night Prime Time.
The address is 347 Don Shula Drive in honor of the legendary coach. The stadium is Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens, Florida. So good to have you with us, Mike Tirico and Greg Olsen. Greg, one of the joys of covering the league week in, week out, you watch guys grow and mature, and all of a sudden you turn around and look at the quarterbacks we have in this game. Now we're looking at guys who have arrived at that magic term, franchise quarterback.
Yeah, I think you just have to give a lot of credit, of course, to the player themselves, the work, the ability to invest in themselves to develop, but also in these organizations. They continue to surround these quarterbacks as they've gotten older with better talent, better systems, play to their strengths, maybe protect some of their weaknesses. That's what it takes to play at a high level at the quarterback for a long time in the NFL, and give credit to both these players and both these organizations. I think it's official. They have their quarterback of the future, and the future looks bright.
And it'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The Miami offense will make their way onto the field, led by their quarterback from the University of Alabama, Tua Tagovailoa.
One of the few southpaws we have playing quarterback in the NFL, Mike, and while he doesn't have one of the strongest arms, he makes up for it with great anticipation and pinpoint accuracy. So what it does, it allows him to throw very catchable balls. A lot of his receivers do a lot of the damage after the catch, and only time's going to tell how this one plays out. But when he's on his game, they're due for a lot of points.
They'll fake the handoff. Now, Tua. They go sideline, and he stays in bounds. Got the feet down in time. It's a first down.
Didn't take them long to get now to their opponent's side of the field. I like the idea of starting this drive with some explosive pass plays. That's going to open everything up, both underneath in the passing game and on the ground. So big play to get this drive off to a fast start.
Tua on the fake, gets it to Waddle. And no chance to turn and go. That one good for just a couple.
Receiver just finds himself in a really nice groove, and there's these weird times in the game, Mike, where it just seems like every ball comes your way, every play they call, you're wide open, and you just find yourself in one of those grooves that athletes talk about. So they got to continue to ride the hot hand, because right now on that field, there's no mistaking who it is.
Off play action, it's Tua. And they're going to get to him and take him down, taken back to the other side of midfield.
The best thing they did here, Mike, is keep their rush lane integrity. What that means is you have to rush the quarterback as a unit. Keep him in the pocket. Keep him on that X. And when you do, man, he becomes a sit and duck for this pass rush.
Work to do following the sack. It is 3rd and long. A shotgun snap for Tua. That's caught. It's Westbrook-Akine. That is well done there, converting on 3rd and 15.
These third down conversions are just so important, Mike. Everybody stresses we want to possess the ball, give our offense as much opportunity to end as many drives as we can, scoring points. So if you want to stay on the field, you better be good on 3rd down.
1st and 10 now from the 36. Opening carry of the game for the speedster, Devon Achane. And he'll plow forward for a gain of 4 yards. Here's 2nd and 6. Tua gonna throw. Looking underneath for Achane. And they'll hold him to a gain of just a couple and sets up 3rd down.
So often for a defense defending the passing game, the most difficult guy to account for is the running back out of the backfield. So a really nice job here, bringing him down before he has a chance to pick up any yards after the catch.
Tua now on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Jalen Waddle, the intended target, and it's going to be 4th down.
We're starting to see a lot of this on 3rd down, Mike, where they're going to rely on the run after catch to pick up these 3rd down conversions. You know what that depends on? You have to actually complete the ball, and in this case, it falls incomplete, brings up 4th down.
Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins are out to an early 3-0 lead.
And that's a good drive right out of the gate. They're able to make some plays, move the ball down the field. I know they didn't get a touchdown, but that is a good, positive result.
Three points on that opening drive. We'll see the response as the kick's away. Avery Williams on the return. And he is stopped at the 25. The drive will begin there. So the Philadelphia offense set to take over for the first time. And leading them out, their quarterback. It's Jalen Hurts.
This is someone who just seems like every year they just get better and better, Mike, right? I mean, think back, whether it was Alabama to Oklahoma to being a Heisman finalist, going from a backup role to MVP candidate. His development has been fun to watch, and now he's universally considered one of the best all-around quarterbacks in the league, and if they want to leave here with a win, they're going to need him to be just that.
Dotson, the man in motion. Right to the air, it's Hurts. That's complete to his big tight end, Dallas Goedert. That's the way to get started, a pickup of 17 and a very quick 1st down.
Really nice throw there. The ability to throw the ball out on the perimeter. Yes, arm strength and all of that, but it's also timing. The timing of the route. When is that wide receiver coming out of his break to deliver that ball accurately as his head comes around? If the ball's thrown too early, the receiver's not ready. If the ball's thrown too late, that's when disaster strikes.
Here's a 2nd and 6. First carry for Saquon Barkley. And he's going to have that 1st down across midfield and down to the 46-yard line.
2nd down at these distances, Mike, you pretty much anticipate a pass, and I think that's what the defense was lined up thinking. In this case, they leave a little too much room on the ground, and the offense is able to pick up a 1st down.
Once again, it's Barkley. And he'll get 2 on this one before being taken down. Second down and 8. A shotgun snap now to Hurts. He's going to run it. Following the play, we have an Eagle who is shaken up. As the athletic training staff looks at him, we'll step away for a moment. So they come to the line for 1st down and 10. Hurts going to hold on to this one. And they bring him down inside the 25-yard line.
I think this is something we're going to continue to see today, Mike, as this game goes along. They're going to make the defense make a decision. Do you want to account for the running back, or do you want to account for the quarterback? In this case, they choose the running back, and the quarterback makes them pay by picking up the 1st down.
A first down throw for Hurts. That's to the right side. Caught by Goddard. He's going to be marked down at the 12-yard line.
These curl routes, he's been running these routes since he was a young kid in Pop Warner football, and I like to call it pulling the string. You've got the defender thinking you're going downfield, and you stick that foot in the ground, work back to the quarterback. Really nice job picking up first down.
So, a lot of options on the table now. It's 1st and 5. From out of the gun, they give it to Barkley. The hole closes quickly. He'll pick up about 3. Here's 2nd and 2. To throw is Hurts. And he will fight his way to the end zone. Jalen Hurts. Touchdown, Eagles. The defense comes up with the coverage, but they cannot keep up with the speed as the quarterback scrambles to the end zone for the touchdown.
And down here in the red zone, Mike, is where I think a quarterback's legs can be the most dangerous. The defenders are trying to match backs, match tight ends and receivers, but often it's the quarterback that has no one assigned to him, and in this case, he's able to capitalize and run it in himself.
Here's Jake Elliott for the extra point. It's up and good. And the Eagles move out to a 7-3 lead. So following the score, here comes Elliott to kick this one away. On the return, Malik Washington. And he'll work this one past the 25 to right about the 28-yard line. The Dolphins offense ready to get going with their second possession. They trail by 4. A touchdown gives them the lead. Drive begins with 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground. It's Achane. And he'll get about 6 there, setting up 2nd down. They'll motion the tight end, Smith. They'll stay on the ground with Achane. And he's going to be brought down up past the 45.
And a nice pickup there by the back with an explosive run play. And it's important to point out, Mike, this offensive play caller, he's still working off that opening script. It doesn't necessarily have to just be the first possession. Using formations, using run game and pass. Unmask the defense and understand where to take the play calling as the game unfolds.
This one is complete inbounds, but not a whole lot out of it. He just gets back to the line of scrimmage, nothing more.
The best guys I've been around, Mike, they have a sense where they can see the ball, but they can feel the sideline. And that's kind of an innate sense that these guys have that allows them to concentrate and secure the catch and ensuring that both feet remain in bounds.
Out of the gun, Tagovailoa. To the left side, in the hands of Hill. Third and 5. From the gun, here's Tua. This is intercepted. Rookie first-round pick. And he's going to be brought down. What a turn of events here. He has given his guys 1st and 10 in the red zone.
It's not often, Mike, that everything breaks right for this type of return off of an interception. But boy, is it beautiful when it does. I mean, look at the defenders just flip around and become blockers, trying to spring their guy to the house. Great athleticism, some great moves on his part. I mean, he's going to have some of his offensive teammates looking over their shoulder for their position.
The Eagles offense about ready to get going on their second possession. They'll start with the football already in the red zone. Big opportunity here on 1st and 10. They run out of the gun with Barkley, and he won't get much. Taken down at about the 12. Here's a 2nd and 9. From the shotgun, it's Hurts. There's the tight end, Grant Calcaterra. And the Eagles are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Sudden change. So you find yourself defensively a little bit on your heels. Your offense just turned the ball over, and now you've got to go out and make a stand. Well, so far this offense has moved the ball pretty quickly, but can they dig in and at least force a field goal?
Here's Barkley, and he's going to be stopped in the backfield. Taken down back at the 3.
The speed and the get-off by the big interior defensive tackle, Mike. I mean, he got through there so fast, he almost took the handoff himself.
Backed up to the 3. It's 2nd and goal. One more time, they try Barkley. And this one's blown up. It's back at the 5-yard line now.
It makes sense on 2nd and goal, Mike, to keep this ball on the ground. You always have 3rd down again to finally punch it in. But now after the defense forces you backwards, I think you have to consider putting this one in the air here on 3rd and goal.
3rd and goal for Hurts. Good blocking, and he's in. Jalen Hurts. Touchdown, Philadelphia. He's got another one. His 2nd touchdown of the evening. So the turnover turns into a quick touchdown, and Greg, that's exactly how you want your offense to take care of business.
Anytime your defense can create those sudden change situations, Mike, absolutely, you have to take advantage of it. 1 second, you're sitting on the bench going over your next drive. All of a sudden, after that turnover, you've got to be able to get out on the field and go. Take advantage of the short field and results in a nice touchdown.
Elliott, good on the extra point. And the Eagles extend their advantage to 14-3. So following the score, here comes Elliott to kick this one away. Washington now to return it. He's across the 20, taken down just shy of the 25. The Dolphins offense back onto the field for their next possession. The deficit is double digits, so work to do as they begin this drive with 1st and 10. Now Tua. First down throw there is incomplete.
He decides to go with the safe throw and throws it well short of the sticks. And at this level, Mike, you just can't miss layups like that.
We'll try again. It's 2nd and 10. Hill brought in motion. A play fake. Now 2 at a throw. This throw right side is caught by Hill. A gain of 16 on that pass play. Good for a Dolphins first down.
And it doesn't really matter who you put on him, Mike. When you want to play one-on-one man coverage against a receiver like this, there's not a whole lot else you can do. It's hard to put help over the top because the ball's being thrown out by the sidelines. I like playing in and out. I like playing zone. Somebody underneath, somebody over the top. Share the responsibility. But that's not what they're doing. That's straight man coverage. Quarterback sees the matchup. There's no question where the ball's going to go.
Last play went the wrong way. It sets up 2nd and long. It's 2nd down and 12. They'll motion the tight end, Smith. Tagovailoa working out of the pistol. They'll get maybe 3 out of that one, and it's going to set up 3rd down.
All right, so there's really 3 areas that a modern NFL running back has to excel at. Number 1, the traditional handoffs. Number 2, you have to be excellent and reliable in pass protection, and maybe bigger than all of them, you have to be at least serviceable out of the backfield in the passing game.
Throwing on 3rd down, Tagovailoa. In trouble, and down he goes.
When you can win so fast as an edge rusher, you put so much pressure on the quarterback to speed everything up. He can sense that pressure coming either from his front or back side. It either speeds up and leads to an errant throw, or in this case, it leads to a sack.
So we've played 1 quarter here on a Monday night. 14-3 is the score. And we're back to South Florida after this. On 4th down, they'll turn to Ryan Stonehouse here to punt. And he'll get something there on the return, able to take this back to the 20-yard line. The Eagles offense ready to see what they can do. They built a nice lead for themselves here. They'll try to add to that, beginning with 1st down. Dotson, the man in motion. On 1st down, it's Hurts. He'll get this over the middle to Smith. An enviable spot to operate from. Here's 2nd and inches. Hurts will work here from the pistol. Now a deep ball looking for Brown. You don't need much. It is 3rd and inches. A pistol snap, back to Hurts. Short pass taken in by the tight end. He's trying to power forward, but no dice. They go with the big man, and he may have lost yardage, and it sets up 4th down.
We see teams more and more throw the ball short of the sticks on third down, really for two reasons. One, they're confident that they can pick up the first down with yards after the catch. Two, willingness to go for it on fourth down is at an all-time high.
So on fourth down, they'll call on Braden Mann to punt. Malik Washington deep for Miami. Now fair catch called, and he's going to take it out beyond the 25-yard line. Out comes Miami and the offense to get started on their next drive. They'll do so with 1st and 10. In motion, it's Waddle. Now a first down throw for Tua. That's caught by Hill. And he's going to be brought down up past the 45.
This is clinic tape for any young wide receiver out there watching this guy run routes. He has the defender thinking everything is a go ball. Attack him vertically, and then when you get to your route depth, you stick that foot in the ground, you break in, balls on time, results in a nice first down pickup.
Tua going to give it to Achane. Nice job finding the seam. Gain of about 9. Just a yard short of that first down. A good spot here. 2nd and a yard. They'll motion the tight end, Smith. They'll fake the handoff. Now, Tua. This one complete to Hill.
One of the easiest ways to negate these really good pass rushes in the NFL, Mike, is just to simply get the ball out of the quarterback's hand as fast as possible. And sometimes it's by design, sometimes it's based on need. But really nice job there by the quarterback, getting into the hands of his receiver and then see what he can do after the catch.
In motion, it's Waddle. On 1st and 10, here's Tua. Right back to Hill. He's got it again. He's going to be taken down at about the 30.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They clearly have a mismatch in their favor, and every time they've looked his way, he's continued to make big plays. If I'm this coordinator, I think I'm giving him one more shot and see if he can push this thing over the goal line and come away with 6.
That is caught. What a throw. Tyreek Hill. Touchdown, Dolphins.
All week we're going to see this play be run over and over as a highlight of the quarterback and the receiver. But, Mike, the part that people don't give enough credit to, in order to get a downfield shot, you have to have time, and what a great job by the offensive line, allowing the quarterback to be comfortable enough in the pocket, let those deeper routes develop, be on time and accurate with the ball, and that's why this play is going to be a highlight all week. Let's give the big guys up front some credit.
Jason Sanders on for the point after. He's got it. And the Dolphins are back within 4. It is 14-10. After the touchdown, Myers is back to boot this one away. Williams now to return. And he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. Here comes the Philly offense now as they make their way back onto the field. The lead sits at 4, so they'll try to add on to that. This drive begins with first. Operating from the gun, here's Hurts. Over the middle to his tight end, Goddard. And he's going to get this to the 37-yard line.
We've really seen both teams have a lot of success moving the ball throughout this entire first half, and just seems this possession is going to be more of the same as they start this drive.
Line of scrimmage is the 37-yard line for 1st and 10. Man in motion is Smith. They show jet sweep and instead run it up the middle. And he'll work forward for about 3. It's 2nd down. He'll stay on the ground with Barkley. And he'll pick his way forward, a gain of about 5. And that's going to set up 3rd down. Now Hurts going to call his own number. And that call will not get it done. The defense ready, stopping him behind the line of scrimmage. And it sets up 4th down.
The idea here for this offense is you're not really thinking necessarily touchdown. You're thinking 1st down. Let's get a fresh set of downs here and reset. But in this case, they suffer a loss, and it brings up 4th down.
Here's Braden Mann now. He'll punt for the 2nd time, looking to pin the opponent back deep. And a pretty good punt there. The fair catch taken right around the 11-yard line. Tyreek Hill getting ready for this next drive along with the rest of the Miami offense. And it may be time for this defense to start throwing a 2nd defender at him, maybe. Look at what he's done. Whatever the defense has tried in the first half, it hasn't worked. They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Tua. He'll look middle here. It's caught by Hill. And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a 1st down completion of 7 yards. Second down and 3. Westbrook-Akine motioning here. Off play action, it's Tua. He'll look deep, left sideline.
It's rare to see an offense that finds themselves trailing and say, well, their quarterback's been actually one of their biggest bright spots. Usually that doesn't go hand in hand, so it's a little surprising to see him miss a throw like that on a day where he's completed passes at a highly efficient rate.
They'll come up to 3rd and 3. They'll try and run it here. It's Achane. Trying to bounce that outside. It went a long way for a gain of nothing.
The offense is trying to test the edges of the perimeter of this defense, Mike, but the defense is just too quick to the ball. Total team defense, pursuit, 11 hats to the ball carrier. It's exactly what we saw here. Keep that gain to nothing.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now. He's on for the 2nd time and wouldn't mind a carbon copy of that first kick. But he cannot get away. Great job down there to hold him to a short return. The Eagles offense headed back to take over once more. They'll start it here with a 1st and 10. A shotgun snap now to Hurts. And this throw batted away and incomplete. Jahan Dotson was the intended receiver there. It's 2nd down.
There's a fine line between trusting your arm and having a little bit too much faith in your arm, right? I think this was one of those situations here, Mike, where there was nowhere to go with the ball. He tries to fit that one in there anyway, and he's lucky that it just falls incomplete.
That's to the left side and taken in by Smith. Well, he's brought down. That pass is going to pick up 4 and bring up 3rd down. Hurts working in the pistol. Nowhere to get away, and he's going to go down.
At some point, you would just like to see that internal clock start to speed up. The longer the play goes on, the more vulnerable you become as the quarterback. Get rid of the ball, but no matter what, you have to avoid the sack.
On comes the punter now, as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. And a fair catch is taken. It is just inside the 20-yard line. The Dolphins offense and Tyreek Hill heading back on the field. And seemingly every time they've looked his way in the first half, it's resulted in a big play that is borne out by those eye-popping numbers. First and 10. In motion, it's Waddle. Play action. Tagovailoa. And he'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
Nice example there, Mike, of the quarterback just being smart with the ball, understanding it didn't quite develop the way he had intended. Throw that ball out of harm's way, live to play another down.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. On the handoff, this is Achane. And he'll find some space, taking it for 6 out to the 26-yard line. Here's a 3rd down and 4. Out of the gun, Tagovailoa. He's got his man. It's Smith. And the defense can't come up with a stop there. Gain of 7 and a 1st down.
He's in a really nice rhythm here on 3rd down. He appears very comfortable operating out of the gun, and he's able to find his man near the sideline, and he's able to extend this drive.
Hill brought in motion. On play action, it's Tagovailoa. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
If there's any silver lining for this drive, Mike, it's the fact that at least this sack occurred on an early down. So I guess technically they have a chance to claw themselves out of this hole, but that's the 3rd sack of the game. And this defense doesn't show any signs of slowing down.
Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. They'll motion the tight end, Smith. From the gun, here's Tua. This one pulled in by Westbrook-Ikhine.
So often, sacks, especially on 1st down, can be drive killers. But their ability here to take this from 2nd and long to 3rd and short, they've got a really good opportunity here, Mike. If they don't get it on 3rd, don't be surprised if they go for it on 4th.
They'll motion the tight end, Smith. Tua going to throw here on 3rd and 1. The screen works for 10 yards and a 1st down.
The thing that jumps out to me the most, Mike, is just how often the quarterback is able to throw the ball to his first read in the progression. So hats off to the play caller. Him and the quarterback seeing the game through the exact same set of eyes, and there is a lot of room to operate.
First carry of the game for Alexander Madison. And he'll take this forward only to about the 46-yard line. 2 minutes to go here till halftime. We'll come back to Miami after this. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Tua. That'll be caught. It's Jalen Wright. It's a gain of 10 yards. First down, Miami.
And what really stands out about this drive is the ability of the quarterback to really spread the ball around to multiple targets. It puts so much pressure on the defense, deciding who do they want to account for, because no matter who they try to take away, the quarterback's doing a nice job of finding the open man.
That's over the middle and caught by Smith. And they'll move this ball way down into the red zone, inside the 20-yard line.
That last completion's going to go a long way towards at least finishing this 2-minute drive, Mike, with some points. You're already in field goal range, so now the idea is continue to work the clock down, take a couple shots at the end zone. You want to get points, ideally a touchdown, but either way, you have the ball last before the end of the second quarter.
After the catch, he gets that forward for a gain of 9.
Similar to a tight end, the slot receiver is often considered the safety blanket. He makes all the difficult catches, tends to be a little bit more around the line of scrimmage, and so far today, he's certainly lived up to that reputation.
Tua to throw again. That's hauled in at the 2. And they'll stop him just short of the goal line, but they are going to have enough to convert. It's going to be 1st and goal. Again, it's Tua. And he will take this one across into the end zone. Tua Tagovailoa. Touchdown, Miami. That his 2nd touchdown tonight. Initially looking to throw it for the touchdown, couldn't find anything, so Greggy takes care of business himself, using his legs for the touchdown.
Well, it was clear early on, Mike, that this defense was expecting the pass, and after matching all the receivers in the end zone, this quarterback realized quickly it was his legs that he was going to need to rely on to get the ball across the goal line.
Sanders here for the extra point. It's up and through. And the Dolphins move out to a 3-point edge, 17-14. Still a little time. Final minute of this first half. We'll see if they can do anything with this kickoff that is coming their way. Now an opening past the 30. And a solid run back there. He'll get this out past the 30-yard line. The Eagles offense going to get it one last time here late in the opening half. This one has been tight so far. A field goal separating the two sides as this drive kicks off with 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Hurts. Little short pass here, caught by his tight end. And they'll get about 4 here as he is taken down. Now Jalen Hurts on second down. A short throw taken in by Goddard. And it'll be a short pickup that's not enough for the first down. They'll look to pick this up, 3rd and a yard. And they'll throw here with Hurts. And that is incomplete.
They got there in a hurry, didn't they, Mike? I mean, luckily for him, he saw that free rusher coming and at the very least was able to get that ball out to prevent the sack.
Here's their punter now. He's on to punt it for the 4th time tonight. Good hang time. The fair catch will be made back at their own 12. A fresh set of downs to work with. It is 1st down and 10. In motion, it's Waddle. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. Not much space developing. He'll get to about the 14 this time. So we hit halftime here in South Florida, and the Dolphins are in the lead. As we send you up to Orlando for a check-in with Jonathan Coachman. He's got our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, it's all yours.
All right, Mike, thanks very much, and welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports halftime report. It was a strong first half from the lefty, Tua Tagovailoa. He had a touchdown both in the air and on the ground to help push his guys into the lead at the break.
Coach, thank you. Both teams trying to find the right formula to come out on top in this second half. Coming up. Three points, all that separates these two sides, has half number 2. Kicks off. This will be returned from the 6. And he'll be taken down right at the 29-yard line. The visitors' offense going to have a first crack at it as we begin this third quarter. They'll begin with 1st and 10. Now Hurts. Oh, a lot of chances on that one. It was bouncing around, but it falls incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Dallas Goedert, that time, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Hurts. That's a short one, caught by Goddard. And he's going to be brought down up past the 45.
Every once in a while, it just comes down to you need somebody in the huddle to just make a play, and it wasn't a whole lot fancy here. The quarterback just dumps the ball down, a quick underneath completion, and then really it's the yards after catch that did the rest, and that's what it takes. You're not always going to have the perfect play. You're not always going to dial up the perfect play against the perfect look. Sometimes players need to make plays, and that was a good one there.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. Open man, Devontae Smith. And they're going to work this down inside the 45.
This is a great example here of just not getting too complicated as an offensive coordinator. Who's one of your best players on the field, and how do you get the ball in his hands?
They'll come up here, 1st and 10. And in motion is Brown. They fake the jet sweep and give it a up the middle. And he is stopped in his tracks. Loss of a couple on the play.
Great job by that linebacker timing his blitz. He didn't give any indication to the offense that he was coming, and he's able to get through that hole and take the ball carrier down for a loss.
Here's a 2nd and 12. Operating from the gun, here's Hurts. Throw left side, but that's going to be incomplete. Devontae Smith, the intended receiver, and 3rd down coming up.
Just seems like another case of predetermining where the quarterback is going to go with the ball. He had a lot of good route options on that last concept. I think if he just remains a little bit more patient, read the play out, let it unfold, will lead to some easier and better completions.
Carrying that ball loosely, and it is out. It's picked up by the Dolphins. The quarterback was on the move, starting to gain some yards, but then he lost the ball. And the fumble's recovered by the defense.
And early on, Mike, it was actually a really good job by the quarterback, extending that play, getting some positive yards with his legs, but he decided not to slide and give himself up. He takes that hit, loses the ball, and now the defense takes over.
Devon Achane ready to take the field with the rest of his Miami offensive teammates. They lead by a field goal as they go to work with a 1st and 10. Hill brought in motion. They'll fake the handoff. Now, Tua. Off he goes. And he slides and covers up at the end, avoids the hit, and picked up decent yardage along the way.
Take a look at his eyes. You can see the quarterback clearly going through all of his progressions, and he's quick to realize there's nowhere to go with this ball. He makes the right decision and gets out of there, picks up some good yardage, and gets down on the ground.
Fake the handoff. Now, Tua. Sending it deep for Waddle. And he will score. Jalen Waddle. Touchdown, Dolphins. A beautiful combination in the air there. The pass downfield and bringing it the rest of the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And it's really just a great route, Mike, and then a beautiful throw. The accuracy of the throw is what allowed the receiver not only to secure the catch, but then be able to turn it up and finish the play and find himself in the end zone.
Now Sanders on for the extra point. The kick is good. And the Dolphins go up by 10. 24-14 is their lead. After the touchdown, Myers is back to boot this one away. 24-14. So work to do as they come up for 1st and 10. Throwing is Hurts. That's caught. Saquon Barkley. And he's close to a 1st down to gain a 9. Nice pitch and catch on 1st down. Second and a yard. Now Barkley. And he's going to be brought down up past the 45.
Well, after not having much success in the first half, they're able to get something going on the ground here to start the third quarter. I'd love to see the play caller mix in some play action, mix in some pass game. That should open up some of these holes for better situations to run the ball.
One of the tight ends motions right. On the handoff, this is Barkley. He'll be taken down after a gain of 2. Second down and 8. Man in motion is Smith. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing more.
Well, you can tell that the defense had seen that play on game tape, and they were ready for it. They tried to do a little jet sweep pop pass out of the gun. Defense was all over it. Nowhere to go, no gain.
We're going to try to pick this up on 3rd and 8. Contact up front. Did they get one of the defenders to jump? So now, after the penalty, a much more manageable 3rd and 3. A shotgun snap now to Hurts. That's over the middle and taken in. He's got it.
Well, we'll give a little credit here defensively. Even though they allowed the first down, we've seen defenses really struggle bringing this big tight end to the ground, and they didn't allow him to pick up a bunch of yards after contact, but he was able to get just enough to pick up the first down.
So they come to the line for first down and 10. Now it's Hurts. He'll look underneath here for Barkley. And he's close to another first down as he's brought down just shy of the marker.
Well, this is a great example of the old saying, Mike. You never go broke taking a profit. And give credit to this quarterback. I know it's not the big explosive play he was looking for, but getting the ball into the hands of his running back allow him to pick up some extra yardage after the catch.
Here's a handoff to Barkley running left. And he is going to be stuffed well behind the line of scrimmage. That play going absolutely nowhere.
The offense thinks that they can just kind of plow this one up there in the middle and keep the chains moving, but not on this defense. Not only do they not pick up the first down, but after suffering that loss, now they've got some decisions to make on third down.
On third down, it's Hurts. That'll be taken in by Barkley. A pickup of 14 on that one. First down, Philadelphia.
Whatever they've talked about in the locker room at the halftime break seems to have worked. They've come out with a new established energy. You could see it when they took the field. Now this offense seems to be building on it because with that chunk play, just a little bit of rhythm that they can build off of. They got a long way to go to get back into this game, but so far off to a good start.
A pistol snap back to Hurts. Quickly to the outside and complete.
Nice job here by the defense. Did a good job just covering up everything for the most part. So once this ball was caught, really didn't have much of a choice but to just head out of bounds and pick up a modest gain.
They'll come up here on second down and 5. They'll run. It's Barkley. And the defense right on that. I don't know if keeping would have done any better. No gain on that one.
I know it's easy from up in the booth, Mike, but I think that's one of those zone reads where the quarterback needs to pull it and keep it himself. The defense was clearly keyed on the running back. Not much room in there. No gain.
On third down, here's Hurts. That's in the end zone and intercepted. Picked off by Ashton Davis.
So much of that play comes down to the defender's positioning, being able to get himself to a spot, to get his hands on the ball, and a chance at that pick. Mike, when that ball was thrown, me and you are sitting here saying, that's a touchdown, and instead, they force a turnover, and now their offense is back on the field.
Now, Tua and the Miami offense head out for their next possession. Eddie has been in control of this offense. Want to run you through some of the action from earlier on. You've got the 2 touchdown passes, over 200 passing yards. He has been excellent all game long. The drive begins at the 20. Here's 1st and 10. On play action, it's Tagovailoa. He's going to run it. And he'll gain yardage and able to get down at the end of the play.
Initially, Mike, a really good job by the defense. Nowhere to go with the ball for this quarterback. He's forced to pull it down and turn into a runner. Little slow reaction, and he's able to actually pick up a pretty good gain.
In motion, it's Waddle. Off play action, it's Tua. And he got rid of that one quickly before the receiver even knew what was going on. That's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Tyreek Hill there, and now it's going to be 3rd down.
A rare miss for a quarterback that we've seen really come out on fire throughout this entire contest. I mean, his completion percentage, Mike, is well above league average, and frankly, it's really the biggest reason why they find themselves out front.
Punt team headed out for the Dolphins. And not much doing there. They made sure he would not get free. The visitors' offense makes their way back out to the field for their next possession. The deficit is at 10, so an important drive forthcoming. Getting started with 1st and 10. Man in motion is Smith. They fake the jet sweep and will hand it up the middle. A modest gain, maybe 2 yards. It's 2nd down. Hurts. He finds Jahan Dotson. And he's got this up close to the 35-yard line.
I'd like to see them do a better job here the rest of the game, Mike, just disguising the coverage from the pre-snap look to the post-snap look. And what I mean is, when you have a quarterback at this level and what they see before the ball's in their hands is the exact same thing they see once they do get the ball, everything is just so much easier for them to process. Change the look, change the coverages, move your safeties. Make the quarterback have to process with the ball in his hand.
That's another 1st down, another big play. The defense has some issues. Gain of 18.
Now this is the epitome of a really short throw and a really nice run after catch. And listen, for a quarterback, it all counts the same. You don't always have to throw the ball downfield to generate explosive plays, and these drag routes can be very, very effective.
Here's a handoff to Barkley. And the defense, good job sticking to their rules. They didn't take their eyes off the running back, who gains nothing.
What makes great linebackers stand out from the pack is their instincts and their vision. In this case, the linebacker has his keys, brings him right where the ball is going, and he's able to make a play at the point of attack and keep this to a no gain.
On second down, Hurts. He'll find the tight end, Goddard. They'll get maybe 3 out of that one, and it's going to set up third down. Man in motion is Smith. To throw is Hurts. He'll try and get there on the ground. 10 yards on the scramble there, and he picks up the first down.
Having a quarterback with this ability to run is such an X factor in today's NFL. It's an element of their offense that you have to be prepared for on every single play. Here we see it on third down. Starts out as a pass. Nowhere to go with the ball. He tucks it, turns into a runner, picks up the first down.
They run out of the gun with Barkley. And that'll be a pickup of 3. Second and 7. Hurts will work here from the pistol. And it'll be brought down as we tick towards the end of this third quarter. So, 3 quarters have come and gone. Back with more Monday Night Football after this. First down awaits at the 26-yard line. And here's third down. Man in motion is Brown. Third down, here's Hurts out of the gun. Oh, he's going to be bottled up and taken down. They got him.
Defense came out in a soft zone, and I think it caught the quarterback a little off guard. He was trying to attack them downfield. By the time he was able to get through his progression to his check down, he ran out of time, and that's all the pass rush needed to get into the backfield and bring him down.
So now, Jake Elliott, an important kick coming up. This to get back to a 1-possession game. And this one is off the mark. It is no good. And this will remain a 2-possession game.
You know, the hardest part about these missed kicks, Mike, is for all the guys that work so hard to put the ball in position to come away with points. You kind of trot off the field. You're hoping that next possession has a different result.
The Dolphins offense and Tua Tagovailoa making their way back out. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been successful. He just processes things so quickly, making the right read seemingly every time. Hill brought in motion. He's into space past the 25. And they bring him down there, but it is inside the 10. It is going to be first and goal. Hill brought in motion. Here's Achane. That's a nice pickup, bringing it down to the 3. Second and goal. One more time, it's Achane. And that big offensive line, clearing space. He's in. Devon Achane. Touchdown. Miami. Greg, that's one of those scores where it's not completely over, but it's getting to be about that time.
Yeah, Mike, I just think they're entering miracle stage right now, and I just don't think there's any coming back from this deficit.
Sanders here for the extra point. He knocks it through. And the Dolphins will open it up even further here in this fourth quarter. After the touchdown, Myers is back to boot this one away. Here's Williams on the return. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. The visitors' offense make their way out to take over once more. The deficit is 17, so they got to start cutting into it soon. See if it starts here. 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Hurts. A pass caught by Saquon. And he's going to be brought down up past the 45.
And this is a tricky part of the game for any defense. You find yourself protecting a late lead, and the age-old question is, do you remain aggressive? Do you try to just keep the ball from being thrown over your head and make everything be tackled and played in front of you? That's what every defensive coordinator struggles with, so they can't get too soft here as they try to hold on to this lead here late.
And that is incomplete. He was looking for A.J. Brown that time, and that will lead to a 2nd down.
Can't exactly put my finger on it, but it just seems like this entire game, like this passing game and this quarterback specifically, they've just been off, and whether it's missing these big shots downfield like he did there or just simple underneath layups, there's just something about him today that doesn't look right, and I think it's a big part of the reason they find themselves trailing here in the fourth quarter.
And they're going to work this down inside the 45.
You know, Mike, I like everything about this play except the very end. You've already picked up good yardage. You've already picked up the 1st down. Now get down on the ground and protect yourself. There's no reason to take those shots.
Hurts working in the pistol. He'll take off again. A great job of knowing when to go. He gets 17 yards on that run and a 1st down.
Mike, the defensive line rush plan is critical when you're playing quarterbacks like this. You have to keep him contained in the pocket, because the second he gets out of the pocket, we can see what happens.
A 1st down throw for Hurts. That ball flutters to the ground. It's incomplete. Well, fortunate there wasn't a defender right there in the area. Could have been a turnover. Instead, it brings up 2nd down.
This has really been the story of this entire game, Mike. I mean, this pass rush has had the advantage over the offense pretty much from the jump, and they've already recorded a couple of sacks, a handful of close calls, and it's the pressure in the backfield is why this team finds themselves with the lead here late in this ballgame.
Who else? Another catch for his favorite target. And that'll go for a gain of 7, and it's going to set up 3rd down.
And this is where the versatility of the tight end position really starts coming into play. Not only do they have to line up with their hand on the ground, but they can occasionally split out in the slot. And man, they're too fast for linebackers, and a lot of times they're too big for defensive backs.
3rd and short, and Hurts will throw. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag comes in. That might make this a 1st down. They send the tight end in motion. They'll run with Barkley. And he will fight his way to the end zone. Saquon Barkley. Touchdown, Eagles. Well, Greg, the light's still on way down at the end of the tunnel here. They are climbing back into this one with that touchdown here in the fourth quarter.
And they have a tall task ahead of them, Mike, but they have a chance. I mean, we've seen stranger things happen. They got a 2-possession game here late. They're going to need a couple stops, and they're going to need a couple things to bounce their way.
Elliott on now for the PAT. He gets it to go, and the Eagles are able to cut the deficit to 10. So following the score, here comes Elliott to kick this one away. Washington now to return it. And he'll be brought down right around the 25-yard line. The Dolphins offense and the wideout getting set to go once more. And he's looking to finish strong. He has been unquestionably the star of the show, as they have just absolutely had no answer on the defensive side of the ball. From the 25, they'll go to work. 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Tagovailoa. To the left side, in the hands of Hill. They'll come up on a 2nd down and 8. From the gun, here's Tua. Going up top. That one broken up. It's incomplete. All over him down the field. It'll set up 3rd down.
There's only a handful of guys in the league who legitimately have world-class speed, and he's one of them. I mean, he's the type of weapon that you 3 or 4 times a game have to just say, okay, my guy, he's faster than your guy. We're going to send him deep and let it fly. And even though that one falls incomplete, you have to continue to sprinkle that threat in because it makes everything else in your passing game that much easier. When you get the ball in this situation, what you're looking to do is not only end the drive with a touchdown to put the game away, but you'd love to chew up some clock. So with that incomplete pass now likely putting an end to this series, that's a big opportunity for them to try to close this game out.
To return is Williams. And he'll get forward a few yards on the return. And that's where the offense will take over. Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia offense set to take over once more. And he has been masterful so far leading this offense, keeping the mistakes to a minimum, on point with his passes, generally one step ahead of the defense all game long. Here's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, here's Hurts. He'll swing this one out wide to his running back. And he'll be taken down rather swiftly after a gain of just 3. They face 2nd down and 7. To throw, Hurts. Now he takes off. And he'll be taken down as he takes it just shy of midfield.
At this point, it just gets frustrating for the defense, right? I mean, you've been watching this guy make big play after big play all game long, not only on the quarterback-designed runs, but it's the scrambles that can really break the back of a defense, and we saw it again here.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. A short throw taken in by Goddard. And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line.
It's been tough sledding for this offense all day today, Mike, but especially here in the second half. So they are just in desperate need of a spark, just something to get their offense into a little bit of a rhythm if they want to have any chance to find themselves back into this game here late.
Hurts looking to throw on 1st down. He keeps it himself.
Well, we've seen time and time again just how dangerous this quarterback can be, Mike, when he decides to tuck it and take off. So that is a great job defensively to rally to the football and hold them to just a short game.
Here's 2nd and 6. A shotgun snap now to Hurts. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
So defensively, there's always the initial pass coverage plan, and then when that breaks down and the quarterback goes into scramble mode, how fast can you then move on to the second phase and what they call plaster, meaning find the nearest receiver and almost play him man-to-man, and it's exactly what they did here, and there was nowhere for the ball to go, and he's forced to just throw it away.
And a good short tackle right there. It stops him a good distance short of the marker. It sets up 4th down.
I think this is one of those plays that when the ball carrier watches this back in the film room tomorrow, he's going to be a little frustrated with himself. If he could just have made that one guy miss, he picks up the 1st down. Instead, he gets brought down short of the sticks, and now they got a 4th down decision to make.
This one has plenty of leg, and it is good. And they are indeed back within 1 score.
And I can tell you firsthand, Mike, when you find yourself trailing in a game, you don't feel very good about coming away with field goals. But in this case, it does get them a little bit closer and cut into this deficit.
So the field goal makes it a 1-score game here in the 4th quarter as they kick it away. Washington now to return it. Across the 20, they'll mark him down before the 25-yard line. And that's where the offense will take over. The Dolphins offense and their wide receiver getting ready to get back to work. And he's had some kind of game. They made it a point to get him involved early. Boy, did that pay great dividends to this point. So here's a 1st and 10 now. They'll start from the 24. They'll start on the ground. It's Achane. And he'll take this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down. Westbrook-Akine motioning here. Play action. Tagovailoa. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
Here's the quarterback doing everything in his power to extend this play, and none of his guys could get open. You got to see someone separate, work with your quarterback, go into scramble second reaction mode, and let's also give some credit to the back end doing a nice job plastering with their assignment, and he had no choice but to throw it away.
And with defenders closing in, he says enough is enough and slides to a halt there. It's a big play when they needed it the most. 32 yards.
Here you are at the end of the game. You need a stop. You find yourself trailing. You have everybody covered, and the quarterback gets loose. Those are the plays that just kill a defensive coordinator. You're about to force a punt, about to get the ball back to your offense. Give credit to the quarterback. He made a play when they needed it.
And he's brought down after a gain of a couple.
They went to the design quarterback run, and there just wasn't a lot of space for the quarterback to operate. You can see him kind of waiting for some of the blocks to develop. Never transpired. Didn't get a whole lot going. Short game.
A shotgun snap for Tua. This one pulled in by Westbrook-Akine. And that's going to be a first down. A pickup of 9. Now it's Tua. His throw on first down is going to be incomplete.
You can't fault the quarterback on this one, Mike. He really didn't even have much of an opportunity. By the time he hit the top of his drop and got his eyes downfield, the defense was all over him, and he really had no choice but to just get that ball out of his hand and live to play another snap.
In motion, it's Waddle. They'll fake the handoff. Now, Tua. Oh, in trouble. Down he goes.
Looked like a pass protection breakdown. They had 5 offensive linemen and a running back in the backfield. I promise you, somebody was assigned to that linebacker, but he timed the blitz perfectly. He ran through and was able to bring him down for a big sack.
Work to do following the sack. It is 3rd and long. Throwing is Tua. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
Throughout this entire game, we've really seen this quarterback operate very efficiently, not only being able to spread the ball to multiple playmakers, Mike, but really complete a high percentage of his passes. So can't let that last incomplete break what's been a really nice rhythm so far.
This one has plenty of leg, and it is good. And that could be big. They now take a 2-score advantage. So Sanders back out after making the field goal. He sends this one away. This one taken at the 7. And he is stopped at the 25. The drive will begin there. The Eagles offense and Jalen Hurts getting set for their next possession. And you get a look at the numbers, they don't even tell the whole story. This has been a tremendous performance to this point. Set to go now on 1st and 10. Here's Hurts. He'll be hit as he throws, and that one will wind up incomplete. Could not step into the throw that time. It'll bring up 2nd down.
This is one of those situations that plays directly into the hands of the defense because think, Mike, they know this offense has to be one-dimensional. This has to be a pass. So what do? They bring in extra defensive backs. They clog up the back end. And at the end of the day, there's just nowhere for the offense to go with the ball.
That's caught. It's Will Shipley. And he's going to be dropped after a pickup of about 5.
Defensive coordinators preach all the time, play pass defense with vision. It's exactly the case here. They're able to rally to the ball, keep that to a short game.
This crowd trying to be a factor, getting very loud now. It's 3rd and 5. Now a deep ball looking for Brown. And they're going to have this all the way down inside the 30-yard line. They've got all 3 timeouts left, but need to score quick. It's 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete. Another try, 2nd and 10. To the air again, Hurts. So the Eagles will use their first timeout here. They'll talk things over before 3rd down. Hurts. That one a bit high, but it's complete. And he's going to pick up the first down. He knew where that marker was and made sure he got beyond it.
This is a great example of where just having situational awareness is so critical in the huddle. When every one of those receivers, Mike, breaks the huddle and go line up, they've got to know where that first down marker is. If your route calls, get by it, secure the catch, and bring up a fresh set of downs.
And he's in. A.J. Brown. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Well, that was step 1. The offense did their job, get this thing back within 1 possession, so they're still alive. But now they've got to find a way to get a little bit of luck and find a way to get the ball back, and it's not going to be easy.
Elliott now for the extra point. The kick is good. Important extra point. The difference is just 3, a field goal here in the 4th quarter. A 1-score game late, and you figure they got to have this one as they'll try an onside kick. Past midfield.
With the rule changes on kickoff, Mike, it's just so hard to really expect to recover an onside kick nowadays. There's a lot of people pushing for kind of a radical change to this. Hey, can we make it 4th and 15? Offense gets the go. If they convert it, they keep the ball. I'm not sure that ever happens, but we can see here an onside kick, not much of a chance.
Tyreek Hill getting ready for this next drive along with the rest of the Miami offense. They'll have a short field looking to build on the lead. First and 10. Tua, gonna give it to Achane. He'll work his way ahead for a gain of about 4. Here's a timeout for Philadelphia. That is their 2nd, as it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game. Here's a 2nd and 6. In motion, it's Waddle. Once again, it's Achane. And he's going to pick it up and take it down inside the 35 for the first down. The defense still with all 3 timeouts at their disposal as the quarterback's down to a knee. And that'll do it for my partner, Greg Olson. For our entire team, I'm Mike Tirico. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Dolphins, home winners here as we say farewell from South Florida.